Welcome to my ninth-ish B5 S4, all right? Long story short, I sold my previous B5 that I made those videos on of the turbo replacements. I sold that one and I got this one instead, all right? But this one, I actually got it from a salvage yard, all right? I got this from a salvage auction. Before I get into this car, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the silver one that I sold. So I'm gonna be giving you guys advice on how you can purchase one of these from a salvage auction in the most efficient-ish way possible. Come to think about it, I don't know why I would do that. I'm gonna be telling you guys everything I know, and I do this all the time. So it's like I'm creating my future competition. It's gonna be me against you. Yeah, I don't know if I want to tell you guys anymore. Anyway, all right. So first off, let me start with the previous B5, okay, that I had, the silver one, all right? Now, if you've seen my previous video, okay, I replaced the turbos with factory used OEM turbos with like 70K. All right. When I put the turbos back, started the car and it was smoking again. So what I assumed the turbos were better. Anyway, so there's only one option is to list that bad boy on Facebook Market and get it the fuck out of my face. All right. Because I got sick of seeing it and its problems. So this dude hits me up on Facebook Market. He was like, yeah, I know it's smoking, but do you think it'll make it back to Alabama? I'm in Atlanta. That's a 3-hour drive. I was like, fuck no, it won't make it to Alabama. He comes, I had the car idling for him, right? It was starting, all that stuff. I was like, blah, blah, blah. There's no check engine lights or nothing, but the coolant light is on and, the car smokes, when it runs because of the blown turbo. I had that car running, okay, while he was looking around it. It was running for like 30 fucking minutes and then it didn't even smoke, all right? So it turns out that the smoke that I previously saw after I finished it, it was like leftover oil that leaked into the catalytic converter from the previous blown turbos that were on it, right? So the smoke from it wasn't actually from the blown fucking turbo. So it turns out that I found that out the hard way. So, but I mean, the guy already came from Alabama. It was too late to change my mind. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really losing much on it. Let me get it out of my fucking face so I can get another one. So anyway, he gives me the money. I give him the title, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, before he left, I was like, hey man, drive safe. Just not to Alabama because you're not gonna make it. So I searched it on Facebook Market and it comes up. This dude had it posted for $7,000, for $7,000. Rebuilt title, half the bumper and undercarriage screws are still here in my garage, like next to the camera. I don't know how the fuck you could ask $7,000. He didn't even mention in the title or the description that it was a rebuilt title. Anyway, that's on him. I wish him the best of luck. 2 days later, I'm looking again. And this dude was like, nah, I deserve more. And he listed it for $10,000, bro. 10 grand. Bro, you bought the car for 2. What is the most important when you're buying a B5 S4 from a salvage auction, according to my perspective, all right? Everybody's got their own opinion, all right? So here's mine. I try to get something that is, number one, run and drive. Run and drive means the auction or the salvage yard was able to get inside of it, start it, have it run, and have it move a couple of feet at least, okay? That's classified as a run and drive. To me, that's a good sign. That means that I can get in the car, I can start it up, and I can move it a few feet, all right? And that gives me a lot of hope that this car doesn't have as many issues as I think it might coming from a salvage auction. So number one is make sure it's run and drive. Number two, look at the most expensive components in the car, all right? The most expensive components are an indicator of what you can really do with the car. Like for example, the front bumper. If the front bumper is in good condition, save that car. Put that on your watch list, okay? Because the front bumpers alone these days, if they're in decent condition, are going for like $700-800, okay? Because I don't think Audi's making any more of them. Nobody makes any aftermarket ones, and I don't think anybody will make any aftermarket ones. So these front bumpers are pretty much like gold. So number one, front bumper, run and drive, and look to see if it's manual, okay? I would never buy an automatic B5 to begin with, let alone from a salvage auction. Like automatic compared to manual, you're less likely to have problems with your transmission if it's a manual car, okay? Because at maximum, maybe the clutch went out, unless it had other existing issues before the car was salvaged. So the 3 things we have is front bumper, run and drive, and make sure it's a manual. Next important thing is making sure you look at the photos of the cluster of the car while it started or attempted to start at the auction. So when I first looked at this dash picture, I saw, you can tell the coolant light, the temperature was right in the middle, which means it was running long enough for any lights to show up while it was running, and it was running for long enough where if it wasn't able to run for long, it wouldn't be running, right? So the temperature was an indication that it was good, coolant was getting around, and it was at least able to maintain idle with no error lights. That's great news. No matter how the car looks, all right? I've been bit before by these auctions heavy, okay? Look at the damages, the primary and secondary damage. It'll tell you exactly where the car was hit, where the most of the damage was, where there's other damage. For this one, it just said front end, and you can see clearly through the photos in the front end where the damage is on the front bumper. Make sure that you can look around the car in the photos, you can evaluate that you can at least get most of your money back if you parted the car out and then scrap the rest, okay? Because keeping that tactic, you'll always at least break even, okay? I mean, sarcastically, keep in mind, these cars are treated very, very well at these salvage auctions. Whenever they want to move it around, they put nice little wheel dollies under each wheel, and they get 4 guys with gloves on, and they move these cars around the yard wherever they need to put them. Kind of something like this. This is exactly how they treat these cars, okay? So expect some other minor-ish damage to show up in your front yard when you get the car versus what you saw in the pictures, all right? They're moved around on a fucking forklift like they're moving pallets at Sam's Club. Like, it is literally so easy these days. They have videos even that they upload of the engine running, so you can even hear if the engine has a knock, if it has a misfire, or if there's coolant squirting out the top. You never know. So these are all things you have to pay attention to. Also keep in mind, there's like $800-900 in fees on top of the winning bid price, excluding shipping. So whatever your max bid is, estimate another $1,000 over that, okay? Most of these cars do require a salvage license or a rebuilder's license or a dealer license, okay? For Copart in particular, what you can do is go to a website called Auto Bidmaster, okay? What they do is you make an account to get access to bid on cars that require dealer licenses or whatever it is. They do carry a transaction fee of $300 per transaction that you use to purchase. In order to get the bidding power, you have to put a deposit down in order to gain access to bid. So the higher deposit you have held with them, the more bidding power you're gonna have. And that deposit is basically just in place to make sure you don't bid on a car and then dip, all right? Because a lot of people do that. That security deposit, you will lose it if you bid on a car and don't pay for it. You have to pay for the car, I think, within 2 or 3 days after winning it. So as soon as you pay the balance of the car, you get that deposit back almost next day. So it's quick. So yeah, that's pretty much the things that I look for when I'm bidding on a car from a salvage auction, especially a B5. Just please, 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 however good the car looks, do not go in bidding, this car looks like it's in perfect condition. There's a reason it went to a salvage yard, bro. Something happened, okay? So never, personally, I would never pay even close to, you know, current selling prices from a salvage auction for a car like this. It's gonna be a nightmare. I've purchased at least 5 or 6 B5s just from salvage auctions in my life. 2 of them that, you know, they had to get parted out, you know, and luckily I was able to use those parts for my next B5s. So it's a win-win. Don't fuck around. If you fuck around, you're gonna end up finding out, all right? The hard way. Because it's hard to find parts for these cars anymore. You hear that? You hear that? Look. Listen how solid that knock is. Listen, where's the mic? They don't make them like this no more. Listen to this door closing. Listen how solid this is. Let's talk about this car, all right? Before we talk about it, I'm gonna actually bring something from inside for your reference. All right, checky, all right? This here, this is what you call gold in a B5 S4. You know what this is? These are maintenance records, right? And some other personal information that this dude left in the car, the previous owner. And upon my little personal investigations, it turns out this car was impounded by the city of fucking Chicago, right? But before it was impounded, this dude, I gotta bring this back to the camera so you guys can see it. Yo, these are all fucking parking tickets. This dude paid $1,029. Also, what I found upon looking at this car is literally like almost $8,000-9,000 in maintenance since 2017, right? Anyway, it all comes up to a good amount of maintenance that was done on this car, so now that I don't have to do, all right? But before I tell you more about it, bro, you guys have to see this just to give you an insight of what kind of guy owned this car. Before I put this whole dude's life on blast, let me just cover his name and his address on the top of this. Yo, look, this dude paid $51.60 for a fucking Owner's manual. He bought an owner's manual, bro, in 2015. That's how OEM this dude was. This dude's middle name is OEM. So that made me so happy when I bought this car. All right, so a little bit about this car. It has 100,000 miles or 102,000. So I did nothing with this car yet. We just got it delivered, pushed it in my garage, okay? A little bit of history about this car. It is from Chicago. It was impounded. It's been sitting since August 2022, right? So it's been sitting for about 6-ish months. And I won the bid on this for like 2,200 bucks, all right? I'm gonna take this thing over to the car wash that's like 4 miles away. Maybe this isn't the best idea for a car that you just got from a salvage auction, have no insurance, no registration, and really no idea if it'll make it that far. You guys are gonna come along with me. We're gonna have to do 2 things. First, fuck around and find out. Let's go. So first off, quick look at the interior. Interior looks like it is in pretty decent shape. The fact that this driver's seat's ripped. Other than that, nothing really broken, cracked. There's definitely some sagging in the headliner, which I'm not really surprised. Other than that, everything seems to be in pretty okay shape. Let's give it a start. Maybe I should open the garage first so I don't kill myself. Let's do it. Ooh, okay. What aero lights do we have? We got washer fluid and brake pads. That's not even that bad. Let's see if the headlights work. Okay. I mean, one's blue and one's white, but I'll take it. They both work. Let's see how them fumes smell. Oh, that smells clean. That smells clean. So I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit, all right? And then make sure it gets the temperature, make sure there's no leaks or smokes. And hopefully if all that checks out, we're going to the car wash. All right, underneath the engine is so damn filthy, but no leaks, no nothing. Everything seems to be perfect. So far, no check engine lights. It's been idling for about 20 minutes. It is pretty much almost getting to operating temp. If you notice, all the engine covers, every single one is still on this, right? That makes me happy. Ooh, big thing. Headlight tabs. If the headlight tabs aren't broken, we all know these headlight tabs crack if you just stare at them too hard, right? The fact that they're still in good shape is another good sign. All right, on the way to the car wash. All right. Pretty much at temp. Let's hear these turbos, because with my luck, both these turbos can be blown right now. She sounds good, man. She sounds real good. All right, let's go. Clutch feels good. And we out. I really hope this car doesn't break down right now on the way to this car wash, because number 1, it's illegal to drive this right now with no tags and no insurance. Number 2, it's raining and it's cold, so waiting for a tow truck is gonna be catastrophic. Power windows work. Let's see how the heat works. Please heat work. Yes, the heat works. Oh God, that's burning oil. Yeah. Valve cover gasket. Little cruise around the neighborhood, make sure it can make it out the neighborhood. Okay, so far so good. Not bad, man. I think it may need transmission mounts because the gear kind of jerks a little bit when you get on and off the gas. Not too much though. I think it's manageable. Ooh. Definitely it's gonna need some suspension work. Yeah, some of these control arms seem shot. Pulls pretty decent. Yo, I'm so happy right now. It's a miracle to have a B5 working well without it being from a salvage auction, let alone from a salvage auction. I didn't try the brakes yet. Maybe I should. These brakes are shot. Yo, these brakes are so shot right now. Yo, good thing I tried that, man. This light turned green automatically. It knew I had bad brakes. Oh my God. The smell of burning oil. Ugh! It just gets into the heater core. Yo, I can't. Whew. What the hell? Let's see if it'll pull. Yo, it moves. It's solid. It does the job, dude. It definitely needs some rubber suspension work. It definitely needs some control arms, some bushings. It's got a little list, but it'll make me to the car wash. I hope. What the fuck you looking at? Never seen a camera in a passenger seat? Yo, nothing feels like driving a B5 and nothing going wrong. It's a very rare occasion, but it's very nice when it happens. Oh my God, dude, I can't take the smell of oil. If I get an oil light now, I'm fucked. Power mirrors work. Barely, jerky, but it does the job. Let's see how the speakers are. Shitty song, but the speakers work. Let me see if the horn works. Horn works. I'm honestly very impressed that there are no check engine lights, no ABS lights, no airbag lights. Okay, this is definitely gonna need an alignment because the steering is straight, but the car is going left. Whoa! Yo, I keep forgetting these brakes are garbage. I keep driving this car as if it has new Brembos. All right, I'm pulling into this car wash and it is a very sharp curb. Let's hope I make it up. And we're in. Nope, not all the way. Man, we're pushing. And we're pushing. All right, we're good. See how far this e-brake comes up to the ceiling. I didn't really wash it. I just sprayed it down to see more clear that there is no major damage to the car. There are a little rust spots right there. Other than that, everything else, I mean, really can pretty much get buffed out. As you can see here, some little scratches and things like that. But overall, I think I am pretty freaking happy. There was some damage, some crack here to the front bumper, but nothing too crazy. I mean, nothing that's not salvageable. Get it from a salvage auction. You know, small things like this that, you know, either come loose or aren't in there properly. The back looks good. No major cracks or dings or scratches in the backside. This side, you have no rust. You have really no scratches. You do have swirl marks, though, all over the car. I mean, I could understand being in Chicago, you got to take it to the quick drive-through because it's not ideal to wash your car in the negative 10-degree weather outside. So I expected swirl mark and maybe a little bit of rust on the body as well. This door handle here, for example, now when I was talking to you guys about the extra damage that comes once it gets shipped and delivered, this is some of the things I'm talking about. Like, for example, this door handle cover, I don't know where it went. In the pictures on the auction, it was there, but when it comes, for some reason, some pieces and trims and things like that end up falling off during transport or during handling. So, I mean, keep in mind, nothing really is gonna come perfect, but expect the worst, hope for the best. And you know, I told you guys from before, I'm making new carbon parts for this car. The set of spoiler and diffuser are pretty much almost finished, okay? I spent a lot of time designing the diffuser, and that was another reason why I bought this car. I didn't want to model my beautiful carbon products on a silver B5. No offense, okay? No hard feelings. But yo, come on, I don't like silver. But silver is one of my least favorite colors, and I want to see my product be demoed on a much nicer color than the Silvaro B5 S4 color. So currently there is no carbon fiber diffuser for this car on the market, period, all right? I don't want to leak too much information about this until it's actually done, but I am going to tell you it's a 3-piece carbon fiber diffuser, all right? And I spent a lot of time reverse engineering these pieces, so I really hope you guys like them. I finished 3D printing it, the test fitment was good, and now I'm getting the mold made to get my carbon piece out of it, and I am super excited. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in hopefully a couple of weeks. Peace.